Hi y'all. Okay, so this is going to be a real video. A lot of you always ask me what my sign is, or I don't seem like my sign, or some of you no longer seem like your zodiac signs anymore. It's because a lot of people are coming into the realization that they actually create their own lives, okay? And that they have the power to change the way they think, feel, and act, okay? Um, a lot of people tell me, you don't seem like a Pisces. You don't seem like this. We're supposed to be extra emotional and blah, 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 blah. But if you ever had your chart done, um, a lot of the weaknesses or negative traits of your sign are supposed to be what you conquer. Okay, so the whole point is to not hold on to the negative aspects of your sign anymore, but keep the positive stuff. Okay, so if you're not evolving and conquering those negative traits about your sign, or at least the ones that benefit you, then you're staying stuck. Okay. And if you study tarot or any other type of system, the star card is very important because it represents you being able to have influence over others rather than things having influence over you, which is like your zodiac sign, the stars, the planets, blah, 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 blah. If you know who you are, what you want, and have goals and know exactly how to get them and how to operate to get them done, your sign is not going to stand in your way. Your zodiac sign is not going to stand in your way as far as you wanting what you want. Okay. Now, it can be used as an excuse, it can be used as a crutch, it can be used as a way to get out of something or to not take responsibility for something, yes. But we all know that as human beings, we have free will and control, and we're able to manifest what we want. Okay. We don't live under the influence. We are the influence. Okay. And once you realize that, um, you're no longer bound to those characteristics of your zodiac sign. Okay. So if you're wondering about that, that is why you're not bound by your zodiac sign anymore. Once you start manifesting and manifesting with dark energy, especially, you've become what created the stars. So how can they rule over you? You know what I'm saying? So don't get stuck in astrology. And I made a video about that before, and I've talked about it in my group. But don't get stuck in astrology. Yes, it's great to know when you're still in that phase, when you're still in that consciousness. But after a certain level of consciousness, it's no longer beneficial. Okay. Especially, it's beneficial if other people are still in that consciousness and you can use the knowledge to kind of understand them better or predict them better. Yes, that's the only reason it's good for, you know. But for yourself, it's no longer um, it's no longer going to be who you are anymore. You know, it's only going to be like people won't be able to affect you a certain way if they try through your zodiac sign. Like, oh, I know she's a Pisces. She should really like this, or she should really, she could be manipulated this way and that way. Um, that's not true anymore. You know, once you know who you are, literally, spiritually, and cosmically, you can't, you know, you're not bound by any zodiac sign. Okay. So make sure you understand that if you're going to like really delve into astrology and stuff like that, make sure you could be using that time to better raise your conscious level so that you don't even really need to abide by it, so to say. You can use it on other people, but as far as yourself, it's not going to be very helpful. Because if you read your horoscope sometimes and you're past and beyond, your zodiac, it's not even going to be accurate. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to be 100% right. But if you still live under the influence of your zodiac sign and you have not, risen above the weaknesses of your zodiac sign, then chances are you're probably going to have a very accurate or close to accurate horoscope, you know? So you got to be careful when you get so far into it. Yes, it's good for seeing compatibility, but and things like that, but it's not something to base, yourself and your life decisions on if you're someone who manifests a lot. So, for example, some people say, "Oh, you don't seem like a Pisces. You're this, you're that, blah 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 blah," and that's because I chose to be. Okay, you have free will. Just because I'm supposed to be this way doesn't mean I have to. Just because I'm naturally supposed to sway this way doesn't mean I can't sway this way on purpose. You know what I mean? So if you let those type of things rule your life, that means you're not in control. And when you're not in control, when you are not in control, then it's almost as if you're letting go of your ability to create your own life. So I love astrology, but I don't base my life decisions on them. I might look into other people, into their zodiac, because a lot of people do not try to step out of the comfort zones of their zodiac. So it's easy to use signs to judge people. But when a person is beyond that and influences others, as well as knows who they are, as well as, you know, risen above some of the negative traits of their zodiac, it's going to be hard, because we're more conscious, which means we see more, we know more, we're more aware of what could be done against us using our zodiac sign. We're very aware. Like, okay, just because I'm a water sign doesn't mean I'm super emotional because I turned them off. I know how to turn them on and off, right? People that are water signs usually are emotional. And once they learn how to control that emotion, they can turn it on and off, just like water. Okay? So when you run into a water sign who's not overly emotional and blah, 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 it's because they've learned to maintain control. And they're disciplined. And they understand their strengths and weaknesses. And they don't let anybody exploit them or use it against them. Instead, they take control. Okay? So that's why a lot of people are starting not to match up with their zodiac signs, as well as, the 13th sign in the zodiac as well. But still, I would still be the same sign, with the 13th sign or not. I'm still the same sign. But I'm not letting the stereotype or the traits rule me. Okay. Um, so, a lot of people who really are into astrology, they will believe it like a religion. Okay. But those who are beyond astrology, like I always say, if you astral travel, if you are on higher levels of consciousness, you're not even in the solar system anymore. If you're astral traveling to different dimensions, you are not in the solar system. So how can you base anything on a solar system? Okay. So, for example, if I'm a Pisces and my consciousness takes me somewhere else out of the galaxy, the solar system, mentally or spiritually, I am no longer ruled or affected by anything in that galaxy, in that solar system. So am I still a Pisces? Probably not. Your spirit and your energy is not and a zodiac sign. Your human body is, okay? Um, and your spirit, your soul, your nous has a connection to the source. The source is not ruled by a solar system, okay? And dark energy is not ruled by a solar system. So the astrology that most people practice is only good in 3D, maybe 4D, but after that, no D, okay? So once you're leveling out of the 3D level of thinking, astrology, it's a fun art. You can use it to judge people and see if you're compatible in certain relationships for people who have not grown above that level of consciousness. Great. But for those who have, it doesn't matter, you know? Um, because right now, if somebody said, "Oh, the perfect woman for me is a Pisces woman," they not gonna like me. Okay. I will act like a Pisces woman to get what I want. But at the end of the day, I'm not ruled by any of that. You know what I'm saying? Um, hmm And a lot of people are still what I call ruled by their zodiac sign because they haven't figured out who they really are yet. You know, they just assume that this is how they're supposed to be. They act that way. They blame things on their zodiac. They say, "Oh well, I'm a Pisces," and I've done it many times because, hey, why not? It's there to use. But in reality, none of that rules you, especially if you know what you are. Okay. Um, but it rules you as long as you allow it to. That's the thing. We have free will and we have discipline, we have self discipline and self actualization, and we are connected to all. And we can manifest what we want, and we can control our emotions, and we can control this, and we can control that because we are conscious. So many people that love astrology, great. It can be used for something positive, but after, you know, you've waken up to a certain level of consciousness, you don't run to your horoscope every day to read it. You don't run to it at all, basically. You're like, Psh, I'm not that person anymore. I create what I want. None of that. Like, if I read my horoscope right now, it wouldn't be true. And it's sad because a lot of people base their life on horoscopes, and they want you to tell them, according to my sign, what's best for me. Well, if you are not in control of your own life, yes, this might be accurate. If you have taken measures to start working with dark energy and get what you want, and act a certain way to get what you want, act a certain way to not make the same mistakes you made in your past, then it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same. It's just based on your traits. Okay. So, for example, if you are born in a certain environment and someone predicted how your life would or your day would go, it based on your environment, right? Same thing with astrology. Someone's going to predict how your month is going to go based on your character traits of your astrological sign, right? So, same thing. But if you are beyond your environment, if you think bigger than your environment, they're not going to be able to predict how your day is going to go or how your week is going to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by that. Okay. Um, let me read my horoscope for the day and see if it's even accurate. Mm-hmm. I don't do yard work since I'm supposed to be doing some type of project today. Move around some furniture. Uh-huh. Nope. Mm-hmm. I'm not starting any projects today. I'm not moving around any furniture. Um, This is a bad horoscope page. Let me try a different one. Somebody pulled this out their butt. Okay, let's see. I'll do a different one. Some people make this stuff up according to the charts. Okay, so let me read this other one. What's my horoscope for today? Okay. See, that's why I don't read them anymore. It just says trust your instinct and look into people's eyes to see their true intention. Okay, that's just common sense. Let me see. For my career and money, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. It says I'm supposed to be an attorney, an architect, a veterinarian, a musician, or a social worker or game designer. Okay. It says I'm compassionate and hardworking and dedicated and reliable. Lies, lies, only to myself. Um, Pisces don't give money too much thought. That's another lie. Um, they are usually more focused on their dreams and goals, unless their dreams and goals are money. Okay. Um, there are two sides to the Pisces. Either they spend a lot of money with little thought, while on the other hand, they can become quite stingy. Yet in the end, there will always be enough money to have a normal life. No, see, that's frivolous, and I'm not like that. Not anymore. Okay. Um, how to attract a Pisces woman. Let's see if this is going to work for me. Um, Sense of humor, good listener, full of unconditional love. Once you have captured her attention, she will be quick to open up to you live. You will never be bored in the bedroom. That might be true. Woman born under Pisces sign enjoys lively discussions about spiritual things and supernatural. Okay, well, that's true, but not with a man. Unless they're just a friend, okay? Because you don't want to let them know too much. Okay. Um, she wants to be treated with respect and you will never be able to seduce her. Okay. If you're honest and open up, she will immediately feel more connected to you. Pisces women are very sensitive by nature. She's not quick to forgive and forget. Her heart has been wounded in the past. If her heart has been wounded in the past, she will have a hard time opening up herself to new romantic relationships. Okay, well, this is like the typical, person, maybe, but, if you've grown and lived and have experience, a lot of these things are not true anymore. You know what I mean? After you've grown consciously and spiritually. Half that stuff, I laugh at it now. I'm like, yeah, right. Only maybe 1/3 of that. No, not even 1/3. It's a lot of it is not true for me anymore. It probably was true maybe 10 years ago, but now it's no longer true. So can't depend on that anymore because I started taking control of my own life through manifesting and understanding what I am, who I am, what I can do. So this is good to tell other people who don't know that side of themselves yet or haven't experienced it or are not to that level yet. Yes, that's still something good that you can read and whatever. But after that, after you've started growing consciously, you won't need that ever again, ever, unless you're trying to use it on someone else. Okay? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what else is in your chart because you can always change. You have free will. That's what I'm saying. No matter what your chart says, you have free will over all of that. A lot of people get hung up on what's written, on what's done. but that's not permanent. You know, you can change that. So it's just, if you don't change and if you stay stuck, that's what it's going to be. But if you change and evolve and know what you can do, it doesn't have to be that way, right? If you let someone write out your life and follow it, or don't try to change it or improve it, it's going to be that way. If somebody told you, oh, this is all you can be when you grow up, and you didn't try to do anything else, or you didn't try to change it, or you didn't try to do anything, then that's what you were going to be. You know, a lot of people told, what's his name, Obama, or this lady or that lady, you can't do that, but they grew up and did it. Okay, it was already written in laws that you couldn't do this, but it changed. So don't ever think that you're stuck because of your zodiac sign. You're not stuck. You will never be stuck. Okay, it's only if you stay on that level. You don't have to stay on that level ever. In fact, as soon as most people hear that they can't do something, they start rising above that anyway. So never get stuck in astrology. Never get stuck there unless you're using it to help yourself with other people, okay, that are stuck there. But you don't base your life on it if you're no longer stuck there, because it doesn't apply to you anymore. Okay, that's one good thing about working with dark energy, or and manifesting and being in control of your own life. You don't have to use systems like that anymore, because you're beyond that, above that system. Okay, and if you really just think about it, it's based on the solar system, not the galaxy, not the universe, but a single solar system in a galaxy. Okay, so very, very limited. Okay. And doing charts and whatever, it's not a problem. Like I said, it's helpful to those who are still there consciously. If you're beyond that, if you're manifesting with dark energy, you don't need it anymore. Not for yourself. You don't need to read your horoscope anymore. Okay? You are writing your horoscope every day when you manifest what you want, and by the decisions you're making. So that is what I'm saying. um, what about working with planetary magic? You can work with anything, but don't base your future on anything, because you can control that. Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, it's kind of like a tarot reading, you know. According to how you're vibrating, or what you think, or the level of consciousness you are on, your cards are going to reflect that. Okay. Sometimes when people are above and beyond and on a different level of consciousness, a lot of their cards come out saying, look deep within inside, spend some time alone, trust your intuition. A lot of cards are going to come out saying that because you're above this. Okay. And you know you are. You're just having a moment of being unsure. Okay. So, but if you're not above that, your cards are going to be more specific. They're going to be like telling your story, and you're going to be like, oh my God, you know. But to those who are highly spiritual and above that, the cards are just going to tell them, look within. You already know the answer. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what my cards say when I pull mine. Like, you don't need us. Um, that's why a lot of times I'll start offering more consultations, because a lot of the viewers on my channel, they're beyond in certain, you know, levels of consciousness, and a consultation is going to be more helpful than a reading, you know. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So someone said, who said astrology was witchcraft? It's not. I don't think it's witchcraft, but people would probably think it would be, because it can predict a person, you know, according to their sign. Hmm. But I never throw myself totally into one thing that's limited. Okay, people have spent many years on perfecting, you know, their craft, but I never pour myself fully into any craft that is limited, ever, because I get stuck. And when you get stuck in with things that are limited, you can't grow anymore. So that's why I always say never get stuck. Don't focus too much on one thing and believe it's the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because it's not. Because from a different perspective, it has no relevance. Okay? So make sure you remember that. This is going to be a short video. I'm not drawing it out. Probably about 5 more minutes and then I'm gone. So if you have a question, ask. Mm, hmm. So that's how the universe was created. Um, be aware of your thoughts. And a lot of us are still ruled by nature and instinct rather than consciousness. Okay? You have a lot of people that react instead of thinking first, or are led by emotions or instinct before before they act or react. Then you have some people who think, step back, and ask themselves questions before they react. Okay? A lot of the type of people who instantly react are probably going to be more in tune with their zodiac sign. Those people who step back, think about stuff before they react, are probably drifting more away from their zodiac signs, because they're not being ruled, or they're not being or using them as an excuse to fuel certain actions. So it's not put in their head that this is the way they are permanently. um, they know that they have the free will to choose and to discipline themselves. So that's why I say it's a 3D level, um, 4D level method of reading people. But after that, no more. Um, so, for example, if I got your chart and I read your chart because I wanted to see how I can best, get you to do what I want you to do. If your level of consciousness is not beyond 3 to 4D, it's going to work. Okay? If your level of conscious is beyond, above and beyond, and you take control of your life and you have free will and you exercise your free will and blah 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 blah, and you manifest, it might not work on you. Okay? So very important. Do you think your kids act like their zodiac sign? Yes or no? Um, I don't think so, because they may a little bit, but for the most part, they already know that they control most of their actions and their nature. Hmm. Um, so, for example, if you want to manifest something, and then you go read your horoscope, it says this is going to be a bad month for financial investments. Do not invest anything, you know, don't do this, don't do that. And you want it to manifest some money, or you want it to manifest a better job. Are you going to not manifest your job or more money because your horoscope told you not to? This is where it gets tricky. It's like, okay, my horoscope said this. Do I go outside today? Do I manifest what I really want today? Is this a bad time? Should I wait till next week? You know, um, you could have missed out on a lucrative opportunity letting something else control you rather than you manifesting with dark energy, becoming the source of the zodiac. You just let all that go. So remember that. Um, mhm. So I don't follow my zodiac when it tells me not to do something. I'm like, I'm gonna do what I want. And usually I'm successful at it. Now, if I would have listened to that, I wouldn't have been successful at it, right? Like you don't know who I am. You have to remember who you are and what you are. If you know about dark energy, if you are the dark energy, if you become the dark energy, you're the one that created the stars and the planets and all that, right? You're a part of that. So why would you let your creation rule over you? That don't make no sense. That's like letting your kids run you. You gonna let your kids run you? No. You gonna let your kids tell you when to go to bed? No. Okay, you are in control. Hmm. So keep that in mind. Don't dismiss it altogether. It's very useful to by judging other people or predicting other people, but don't follow it yourself. Okay? Especially if you're working with dark energy. It's a contradiction. Um, some people do let their kids run them. Okay? Well, that's the I don't. Hmm. Anyway. Mhm. Oh, I'm not against astrology. I'm just saying at a certain point, it's no longer, uh, you should no longer be ruled by it. But think of it as like a map or a way to um, analyze or test a subject, but in a different place or a different time, it's not relevant anymore. Okay. It's like when you use and they try to date something with carbon copying and it says, oh, this was created 5,000 years into the future. You can't believe that because the material was exposed to some radiation which changed the carbon copy date because of the radiation. So you can't base it on that anymore if it was around a volcano or something or a meteor. So now that system that people use to date objects is no longer relevant in this scenario. So it's the same thing with astrology. It's very valuable in some areas. In other circumstances and areas, it's not at all. So that's just how you have to look at it. It's not the end all say all. Okay. Hmm. You would feel when you no longer needed astrology. It feels limiting. Yeah, when you don't believe it anymore, when your when your horoscopes stop making sense, and when everything is doesn't sound like you anymore, when people don't believe that you're the sign you say you are, that's when. Okay. Now numerology, I would say numerology would probably be more accurate, but not, but don't limit yourself. Use it as fuel. You know what I mean? Numerology would be probably more accurate than astrology because the universe is and the matrix and whatever you want to call it is all numbers, sacred geometry, and mathematics. vibrations, tones, you know. I would base more of my studies on numerology rather than astrology, because astrology is only based on one solar system. Numerology based on, you can use it anywhere. Okay. Um, that's why when you close your eyes and focus and use your third eye, you might see numbers or shapes. You don't ever see signs. You don't ever see zodiac signs or planets. Okay, because that's too limiting. Um, yeah, a lot of systems use numbers, but numbers are usually the base. Is where you first start off because you know. All right, y'all. I gotta go, but thanks for tuning in. I told y'all this is gonna be a short video. I might come back later on in the week with a different subject. So I'll see y'all later.